This game is a masterpiece of a game and one of the greatest video games of all time. It's God of War 2018, and I never expected to love this game as much as I did when I first played this. Hey guys, welcome to another video. So I wanted to talk about God of War again, and I originally launched this channel with a God of War related video, and that was me deciding what my game of the year for 2018 was. And 2018, in my opinion, it was one of the greatest years for video games. We had God of War, we had Red Dead Redemption 2, we had Marvel's Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human. I believe Dragon Quest XI also came out that year as well, or that might have been 2017. But 2018 is one of the great years in gaming, and God of War, for me, was that game of the year. So yeah, I would still say God of War was my game of the year for 2018. Red Dead Redemption 2 was another legendary game, and that is my favorite open world game of all time and one of my favorite stories in any video game. So to pick God of War over Red Dead Redemption 2 wasn't easy. Like, I think both games are legendary, they're masterpieces in their own rights. But I think ultimately why I would say God of War 2018 was my game of the year that year, I just felt like it was a complete package. I felt like gameplay, story, music, graphics, all that, it checked every box. And not to say, Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't check a lot of those boxes. It sure did. And in some ways, Red Dead Redemption 2 does certain things better than God of War. But for me, I felt like God of War was a complete package and really gave me everything I would want out of an amazing video game. And I probably should say why God of War 2018 was such a big surprise for me. As I said in the very beginning of this video, it's because this was my first entry into the God of War series. And I know, before this rebooted the God of War series to Norse mythology, and before in the original trilogy, it followed Greek mythology. And I certainly was familiar with God of War gameplay, and I'd seen plenty of YouTube videos and trailers and E3 presentations on the PS2 God of Wars, and well, of course, God of War 3 was on PS3. But I never, for some reason, I could never get into the original God of War trilogy. And when those games were coming out, I was a young teenager. I wasn't old enough to play rated M games at the time, but of course, that didn't stop me from playing rated M games over a friend's house. But maybe that's part of the reason. If I was over 17 at the time, maybe I probably would have got the games and played them. But I would say God of War never really, or the original trilogy, just watching the trailers never really got me interested, or I feel like I should play them. I know they were very popular, and just like God of War 2018 were very well received critically and commercially. But I don't know, it was just something about maybe the camera angle that the game used. I felt like it was almost a little bit over the top in terms of its brutality, and Kratos just seemed like a character that was always angry and yelling, and I kind of didn't get the whole thing about God of War, the whole culture around God of War, and the appeal. So I never really felt the need to try to play those games when they were coming out or years after. It really wasn't until I played God of War 2018 where it made me realize I gotta go back to these games at some point. And I still, at the time of this recording, have yet to play through the entirety of God of War 1 and 2 and 3. I did play a little bit of God of War 1, like the first few hours, but I played it through streaming on, the PS5 has PlayStation Plus streaming for PS3 games because they can't natively render them, run them on PS5, at least not as of yet. So I did play a few hours, and I did enjoy a little bit of what I played out of God of War 1, but I didn't play enough to really get enough of a feel for it. So here's hoping that at some point we do get that original trilogy of games, and maybe we'll get, there's multiple spin-off games and, God of War Ascension. So maybe we'll get those at some point as well. And looking back to 2018 when God of War was launching, I was, I was intrigued by this new direction that the series was headed into, with third person, behind the shoulder camera angle, being set in a different god mythology with the Norse mythology. And, it was a reboot. So I was intrigued by that premise of them changing up God of War. But, I wasn't like through the moon hyped for God of War to play it. Like I didn't buy God of War at launch. I was more waiting to see what the response was going to be to this game. And yeah, in hindsight, it is pretty funny to think I was skeptical of this game, that it would be as good as it ended up being, and it was obviously so well received. When we got this game, it got glowing reviews. I felt like everyone was giving it a 10 out of 10. Everyone was calling it a PS4 system must buy, a console seller. And really the reviews and just the amount of people glowing over this game, and even people that are saying the God of War games from PS2 and PS3 never really resonated with me, but this game did. That sold me more than enough on the game, and I was ready to play. And I think I bought it maybe like a few days after it launched. It wasn't long after the launch. And yeah, so I played through God of War. I still have only played through it once. It's a pretty long game, especially if you're playing all the side content and the main story. I would say definitely at least a 30 to 40 hour experience. And I was blown away from it. I was blown away. Just as I said, it's a complete package of a game. The gameplay is the combat system with the Leviathan axe, and spoilers, so if you don't know, late in the game you get, or somewhat late in the game, maybe 3/4 of the game, you get the Blades of Chaos. And of course I knew the Blades of Chaos was Kratos' primary weapon from the original God of War trilogy. And when you get those Blades of Chaos, and the surprise of it in the build-up, and the first time you use it in gameplays, that's one of the most memorable gameplay sequences from any video game I've ever experienced. Like, it was so amazing. It was so epic, and it was so awesome, that surprise. And I didn't know about it, so I'm glad I wasn't spoiled about that. And I hope I didn't just, I would hope anyone watching this video knows that and then played through this amazing game. But for me, I was trying to think of like a sentence to define God of War and its impact. So I would say God of War is like the defining game of PlayStation 4. So when I say the defining game of PlayStation 4, I don't necessarily mean the best or my favorite game on PlayStation 4. If you watch my top favorite PS4 games video, you would know I didn't put this game at number 1, but it's near the top of my favorite PS4 games, and I love it. It is a masterpiece. There's so many amazing games on PlayStation 4, so just because this wasn't my number 1 doesn't mean I don't think it's one of the great games of all time. I definitely do. But, I think this game defined the PS4 more than any other game, just because I think, for me, I feel like it's the easiest game to recommend to the common mainstream gamer, or to the person who hasn't gamed in a long time or never owned a PS4, never played the catalog of games on PS4, what is that one game that I would recommend first as that one game to play on PlayStation 4? That would be God of War. I feel like God of War is like Zelda Breath of the Wild is to Switch. Like, I feel like that's the face of that generation, is this game. And it's, you know, it's really rare that you get these games where it feels like everyone is gushing over and glowing. You know, the Metacritic score, I just looked at it, is a 94, which is extremely good. It got a 9.1 user score, which is very high. A lot of times you don't see that, where the critical response and the user response is about on the same page. So it was very well received. It sold extremely well, and it won all these Game of the Year awards. And yeah, it was the closest thing I could compare this to is when The Last of Us came out, and everyone was gushing over that, and it won all these Game of the Year awards. And I would say, you know, just like God of War, I would say The Last of Us probably defined PS3. Either that or maybe Uncharted 2, since The Last of Us came out at the end of PlayStation 3, and Uncharted 2 came out more in the middle. But besides the point, I think God of War just did something that not a lot of video games do, and that's just appeal to the masses. You know, it's one of those games that you don't see many people have a bad thing to say about. All right, how about we get into some God of War gameplay? I haven't really played God of War since it released, but they did do a 60 FPS update for the PlayStation 5 a few years ago, and I did check it out for a little bit, but I didn't do a full playthrough. So, you know, I'm not going to do a full playthrough on YouTube or anything like that, but I want to play through the intro of the game. And of course, as you can obviously see behind me, I got my big God of War poster, and I just feel like I should address that. I got it from off the wall, off camera over there, so it's a huge poster. I kind of wish I got a little bit of a smaller poster. But anyway, let's get into some God of War here on my PlayStation 5 and switch the scene here. And hello, Astro. Let me get my headphones and let's get into this. So, as you can see, I never got the God of War Platinum, but I did get the Platinum for Ragnarok. Maybe at some point I will go back to this and try to get the Platinum, but I don't know. I wasn't really... I wasn't in the mood to get the Platinum at the time that I played this. And I don't know. The Ragnarok Platinum, I could have lived without it. Honestly, it wasn't like the most satisfying Platinum to get. It was kind of annoying. But I don't know. I still feel a little bit of a sense of accomplishment from getting that. And just speaking on God of War Ragnarok, I thought it was, you know, it was a very good follow-up to God of War. One of the best games on PlayStation 5 for sure. I don't think it had the same level of impact as this game, but it's definitely a game that you got to play if you enjoyed God of War 2018. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that for that game, and maybe at some point I will revisit it in one of these videos. So let's, performance experience. Make sure everything's good here. Sony Santa Monica, which the rumors are that they're working on a new IP. Cory Barlog, the lead director of this game, and well, actually he wasn't the lead director for Ragnarok, but for this game he was, and the writer, I believe, right? He's been working on a new IP. So, and here we go into this very cool startup menu, as you're about to see here. I'll just do balance, whatever. Just goes right into the game. You're right into it. Just like, I remember this, and I thought this was like the coolest startup menu ever. And you can really see the details on Kratos' face. change it to default profile here. Sorry about that. Cut this tree down. Kratos is a strong man, or god, I should say. I love the music in this game. So epic. One, two, three, testing. Okay, sorry, I'm just making sure my mic's working.
I found some.
Get in the boat, boy.
And Kratos, of course, has a son now.
Still want me to tie it to the boat?
Game still looks very visually impressive.
Boy. That is enough.
Kratos and Atreus, the voice actors do a great job in this game. They really have a great dynamic. You know, similar to Joel and Ellie in The Last of Us, and
Father,
Cory Barlog was inspired
something changed.
from The Last of Us.
The forest feels
And
different now.
definitely see a little bit of that between these two in this game. That dynamic. It's a little bit different, but it's a great father-son story. Of course, remember all the times Kratos says "boy" in this game. It became like a meme. Boy. I don't think you ever hear him call him Atreus in this game, or I don't remember him ever calling him by his name. It's usually just boy.
That was the last.
So apparently they're trying to work on a God of War TV show, or it was a TV show, and I think it might have been canceled, and now it may be a movie that they're trying to make. So I believe it's just in limbo right now and in the early stages. So if that ever comes to be, that'll be interesting to see what they do and who they cast as Kratos. But
Oh, there do I see my mother. Oh, there do I see my father. Oh, there do they call to me. 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 She's ready.
Wonder how she died.
Find your way home. You are free.
I'm sorry.
Squeeze.
Of course, that
This knife.
no cut camera, just constantly moving around. I love that about the presentation of this game.
Yours.
You don't see many games do that. Really just immerses you more into the story, I feel.
What you want?
She knew.
Show me.
Now?
Now.
What are we hunting?
You are hunting deer.
Which way?
In the direction of deer.
So good to be back at this game.
Okay,
It's been a minute. This game just like the first time I played, it still gives me goosebumps playing it, experiencing it.
Father, why are we doing this now?
I need to know you can survive the journey.
Then we leave for the mountain?
Collectibles.
Depends on you. Hunt.
Artifact set. Yeah, let's just get into this. Play it away.
What did you find?
Tracks. Not deer, though. I'll keep looking.
Another collectible, huh? Hack silver. Right. The currency. It's over here.
Boy, you missed these.
Tracks.
Huh. Close. But also not deer. See? Tips are too wide. Mountain goat?
Your mother taught you well.
This game, I feel like, definitely starts a lot slower than Ragnarok. But that's fine. I'm fine with that. Like, they're trying to ease you into this experience. Like, God of War Ragnarok is just, from the start, you're in it. And it's fast-paced. You'll know what I mean as soon as you play it. But I would say I think I like this game more Partly just I feel like it's better paced than Ragnarok. I feel like Ragnarok was a little bit long in the tooth, and I feel like they, but at the same time I do kind of feel like they rushed the ending of it without spoiling. Yeah, I just felt this game had a better pace into it.
More tracks?
Yeah, but they're too round. Could be a wild boar.
Good.
Oh, now what?
This way, boy.
I forgot circle is the jump button in this game. That's so weird.
Oh. Wait.
You know, X is always the jump button in most games. What are those antlers?
Slow down, boy.
Sorry.
You are hunting deer, not chasing it.
Yes, Father. We broke our bridge. How are we gonna get across?
Step aside.
Leviathan axe.
Wow.
Trying to call back? Yep.
What happened here?
That's so satisfying. That never gets old to call in the back. The Leviathan axe.
There it is!
Hold! What are you doing? Now his guard is up.
Oh, he's pissed.
Only fire. Only fire. When I tell you to fire.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, boy.
Do not be sorry.
Be better.
Find it.
I don't remember Atreus being a lefty.
Find it.
My bow!
No! You are not ready! Stay back!
Here we go. Right, L1 the block. Remember that. Right, exit dodge, that's right. Here we go. Now they do have a new game plus mode of this. I didn't see that in the start menu. If I didn't lose my original save. At some point I may want to play the new game plus mode. Oh, guess I can't leave. Until I beat these guys. Is there a shield bash? Yeah, that's right. Alright, this is coming back to me now.
Draugr.
Love that combat.
We've never come this close to our woods before.
That's just the basics. And they really expand upon the combat in Ragnarok as well. New weapons in that game, of course. But, I mean, the combat in this game is still amazing. Very satisfying. Yeah, I'm sure there's some collectibles I'm going to miss here, but I don't really care about that too much. I'm just
Up there!
going to get some good gameplay for you guys if I can.
You went to the old temple. But Mom told me never to go in there.
We do what we please, boy. No excuses.
And I rewatched the initial reveal for this game at E3 2016, and that was That was very legendary and epic, the way they did it. They had a whole orchestra, and they show the trailer, and they first show Atreus playing with his toys or whatever, and you hear this deep voice, and then Kratos comes out from the shadows, and the crowd goes wild, and it was a very
Can I have my bow back now?
cool way to open up an E3 conference. I remember watching that live.
I went hunting with Mother a bunch of times. She never wanted to take me. Why now?
It was her wish. And it was time.
Okay.
It was her dying wish. Or maybe not her dying wish, but it was her wish. I didn't need to do that. Yeah. I know what a health bar is. Right. Do heavy, you can stick with them. Just stick the axe on them. So satisfying. How do you turn around? I forget. I'm gonna do the shield bash. Alright. Just attack. Ooh, nice. Alright. Is it hold X to run? No, that's evade. What do we got? So we hunt.
Wait for my mark. Relax. Do not think of it as an animal. It is simply a target. Clear your mind. Steady your aim and breathe in.
Breathe in.
Exhale and release.
I got it.
Good.
It's still alive.
Your knife. No. Finish what you started.
I can't.
It must be done. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh boy, here we go. One of these guys you see like 10 times in this game.
We're gonna fight that?
We have no choice.
Alright, here we go. Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay, just tell me when to shoot.
All right. All right. Ow. Alright, almost got half its health. Not doing much. Ow. Got that health over here. Alright, now I can sprint. Oop. Oh, he's going crazy.
I'm ready.
Oop.
Get control of yourself, boy.
Kill it.
Just keep throwing. Range attacks.
This way, boy.
Oop. Got a little greedy there. There we go. Alright. Now we do the finisher. Eh. Snapped its neck.
That's what you get.
Boy,
Think I'm afraid of you.
Yeah. Atreus has some growing up to do.
look at me. Look at me, boy. Boy, look at me.
We did it.
You are not ready.
What? Are you serious? I found the deer. I proved myself. How am I not ready?
We are going home.
I haven't been sick in a long time. I can do this.
You are not ready.
He is not ready. Right.
I am ready.
Do not speak again.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of God of War gameplay. It's still epic and legendary like I remembered, and at some point I definitely will go back to replay these games. Just, you know, nowadays I don't really have as much time to game as I once did, but, you know, at some point when I do have that time, I definitely want to play through these games again, both God of War Ragnarok and God of War 2018. And eventually we'll play the series before that, the Greek series. And yeah, I love God of War. It's, as I'll say It's the defining game of PlayStation 4. It's one of the greatest games of all time. It's a masterpiece. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I know the sun really get into the shot right now, but I enjoyed making this video. And subscribe, like, subscribe and like for more PlayStation content. I'm a PlayStation gamer, and I like making these PlayStation related videos. So, but actually, before I go, I just want to ask, you know, for the comments, where do you rank God of War among PlayStation 4 games? And is it your favorite in the whole series? Do you like the original trilogy more? You know, let me know in the comments. Let's strike a good positive conversation. And yeah, and where does God of War rank all time for you? Is it one of the great games of all time? And yeah, I think that's what I would want to ask you guys. So leave it in the comment section below. And this is me signing off.